Hi, I'm Alan from Motor Matters, known as the man in the hat. Your favorite channel, of course, for everything motoring, particularly in South Africa. Take a look over here. The shape, the side profile is very, very familiar. It's very similar to the previous generation. Let's give you a clue over there. You come around to the front and you have a look over here. Well, there's no guessing because it tells you straight away exactly what this is. Of course, it's the new generation Ford Everest with a name across the bonnet over there. But it's bigger, it's bolder, it's grown up in every respect of the word, the new generation one, based on, of course, the new generation Ranger, which there's so many similarities, especially the front end, to the big Ford F-150 trucks in the US, and that's what they're basing it on. A standout feature has to be the boomerang, as they call it, the daytime running lights that run all the way around your headlight system over here. And let me tell you, it stands out when you're on the road, and those are showing and those are bright. Really, really exceptional. And talking about the headlights, let's just get this in right now. You get, for example, auto high beam, auto dipping as traffic approaches as needed in lighting circumstances. When it's darker, that just goes onto high beam instantly on its own. But it's big, it's bold, it stands up. You can see, look how big it is. You've got these really nice black mag wheels over here. You've got 20 inches. Wow, 20 inches on here as well. So they're big. Of course, it gives a nice big high stance as well. This is the sport model. Because what Ford have done is they've only launched two models to start with in the range. This one here, the 2-litre bi-turbo. We know the bi-turbo engine. Yeah, it's that 2-litre bi-turbo diesel. Interestingly, according to the paper, they've dropped the power from 157 to 154 kilowatts. Not exactly a drop, but anyway, still 500 Newton meters of torque. But you'll hear us talking about the fact of how much smoother it is on the road. There's no difference in power, I can tell you that. It doesn't seem to make a difference. Of course, you've got a very, very substantial, nice, rubber looking, not the chrome, which is interesting, side step over here that you really need when you want to get in to this vehicle. Well, I certainly do anyway, when you're my size. You take a look, let's look in the back seat quickly over here, because these are important features and facts. You can see, driver's seat set for me, there is tons of legroom. I mean, look at that, this car is big. And of course, you've got two USBs in the middle over there. You've got a fan control for the back seat, and you've got a 12-volt over there. So you've got provision for the family. Remember, this is a family vehicle. It's a family holiday vehicle, I'm going to call it. So you want features like that where you're going to keep the family happy when you're on the long road. And that really does make a very, very big difference. You come round towards the back, of course, you can see the extended C-pillar. It's pretty wide, it's pretty big. And to the rear. And interesting, they've got the bars over here again, like everybody has. The completely different tail lights, LEDs, of course, and the light bar across the back, features like that. And even though it is not the top model in the range, thank you, Ford, for at least providing auto opening and closing of the tailgate. Now, as is expected, you can see this is the 7-seater. So you've got, I've shown you here where you can drop one seat at a time separately, for example, manually on sport spec. But anyway, but remember, limited boot space if you're in 7-seater mode, tons of space if you're in 5-seater mode. And of course, you've got your toolkit, etc. under here with, of course, the spare wheel down below. Now, mentioning the fact of 5 or 7 seats, we got a tow bar over here, because if you're going to travel with a family on holiday, you're going to need a trailer for your luggage, that is for sure. But you press the button, and that's how you close, and the warning bing bongs to get your head out the way. Let's look inside on the road, you'll see the rest of it. So let's give you the standard Motor Matters test of the cheap seats in the back. Well, all you need to do in this one is there's a little lever in the top of the backrest. You pull it, it folds that far. It doesn't tumble, but you slide it forward, and 1 and 2 and 3. Now, to point out to you, I can slide the seat forward, reduce the legroom for the middle row and give myself a bit more legroom. But for 7-seater, I'm not going to do it now. It's not actually bad at all. I must say I could kind of live with it. Definitely youngsters could live here. Headroom, well, my hat just makes it, so I'm going to say it's acceptable. Good feature is there are, look here, aircon vents in the roof above the 3rd row. Thanks for that. So hopefully passengers in this row will not get claustrophobic. That's always a big concern. As this goes, compared to any of the opposition, no complaint with this 3rd row seat.
Oh!
And then flash onto the road every now and then, okay?
You're live.
Oh.
We'll have to edit that bit out.
Okay, you'll have to cut that bit.
No, the light is on. You're in your all your glory.
In the spotlight.
Yeah, God.
Okay, Leadfoot.
Alan.
The 2-litre bi-turbo Ford Everest, the new generation, that you went on the launch and I didn't.
Yes, well, they know class over sophistication.
Yeah, well, they just got their invites mixed up.
So tell me, how are you finding it?
On the road, especially on the freeway, this thing is super smooth, super comfortable, even way more than the previous one was, I'm telling you that.
No, for sure.
But it's big.
It's massive.
But you know how some vehicles that are big don't feel so big? This one feels big.
It's because it is huge.
Yeah, and you on the launch, you didn't get the chance to drive it into a shopping centre parking area, did you?
No, but we did run over some bush babies.
Edit that out. But you know what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Drive this thing into a shopping centre parking area, and you know all about it.
Well, I like big cars. I always have liked big cars. I like small two-door sports cars too.
No, sure.
But I love big cars, and it's a case of I think the last big one we had was the really big one that also felt big was the 300, the Land Cruiser 300.
Yeah, of course.
That feels enormous.
Which is probably marginally bigger than this.
Yeah, probably
A lot, yeah. But you know what?
Yeah. So it feels big, but.
Okay, but it's smooth. It's
the upgrades in the interior are phenomenal.
I mean,
it's a different league.
This isn't even a tablet. This is a PC in the center of the dash, right?
Do you know what Neil Hill said?
Yeah.
Actually, at launch,
okay.
And I agreed with him because this was actually at dinner, and he says, he's very cross because his Raptor that is his daily car. He feels now actually is analog, and these cars are digital.
Yeah, but I assume that was the old Raptor.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. New one's just been launched.
Exactly. So, I get exactly what he's saying because that's what this new Everest feels like. It feels digital, and the old ones just feel analog.
No, sure. But look, it's got all the kit in the world, okay? And this is the sport spec, all right?
Yeah, it's not the platinum.
Not the platinum.
Yeah.
So it's got all the kit in the world. I'm averaging 10.5 litres per 100, which is probably as good as you're going to get in this car, am I right?
Lead Allen.
No. This has done a lot of urban driving. It hasn't done open road.
It's a big, heavy vehicle.
It's big and heavy.
Yeah. And this is the 2-litre 155
kilowatts. They dropped it by 2 from the previous version.
That's okay.
But you know what? It feels smoother than the previous.
Is that probably the gearbox?
This 10-speed gearbox is just unreal.
There you go.
Gee, it's incredible. You just don't know it's changing gears ever.
Yes, yeah.
And it's got lane departure, rear cross traffic warning.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. It's got them all.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, listen, for the price it should have.
What does it cost?
965.
Okay, so just under a bar.
Just under $1 million.
Yeah.
You want to go to the 3-litre diesel platinum spec. Goes to 1.
Just over
1.1.
Yeah.
Between 1.1 and 1.2, I think.
You get some extra toys, the bigger motor.
You get the bigger motor, you get the panoramic roof, and I don't know what.
Vented seats.
Yeah, okay.
There are a couple of things.
Yeah.
And the interior trim is a bit better, but yeah, it's
it's got the more plush. It's probably got the
correct.
quilted leather instead of just normal leather. I mean, fine,
We'll have to get one to compare.
We're getting the Ranger with that motor.
Yes.
Swapping for this one, so at least we will experience the new motor, which is cool.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it really is an impressive vehicle.
Indeed, it's a massive leap up. I think that Ford are taking aim at we know who, what you know what. But and I think they're going to. It's game on.
Oh yes. Look, the thing about the opposition is that their version is a good couple of years old now.
Yeah, so we're getting into the boxing match of who's got the newer.
I mean, they've leapfrogged in, and sorry, you know who? Not knocking your product, it's still selling billions.
Yeah.
All the rest, but I can just imagine what the next.
You know who's going to look like.
He's going to look like, feel like, behave like, etc., etc. Look, they already launched the Bucky version with upgrade, remember? Which has got to find its way into the SUV somewhere along the way too, okay?
Yeah, no, that's
they
coming.
Can't leave it only in the Bucky.
No, that's coming.
Yeah, so...
I have to say, just whilst you're on it, okay, so aside from the agricultural gear shift, because I like rotary ones, you get a rotary one on the Platinum, by the way.
Okay.
This is lovely. I love the selector switch for your drive modes, and you actually push buttons in there, and then this is very sort of Land Rover-esque almost.
And feel the acceleration.
And this thing goes. I mean, there's a decent amount of punch there.
It's got a lot of power, that's for sure. Okay.
Cool. We'll leave it there.
Good stuff. Thanks.
All right, Al.
Jumping in behind the wheel, of course, the point being, and Leadfoot mentioned it, this car is digital. What I mean by digital, well, just look in front of me. You've got that screen in front of me, that TFT screen, that you can scroll, you can change. You know what I'm going to tell you. It does everything you want. There you go, radio. I had on the trip computer, obviously, to tell you, we've done 298 kilometers on this test so far, showing 10.5 liters per 100. I know there's a figure of in the 9s being bandied about for this one, but I've done mainly urban driving with a tiny bit of freeway. We did not get the chance to take it on the open road on this test, unfortunately. We'll do that with the wild track instead. That's coming in, swapping with this one. So just bear with me on that. But it shows you, I think, what most drivers will get in real life. So let's leave it at that. You've, of course, got your multifunction steering wheel. I shouldn't have to show you these things because, it's obviously got active cruise control. It's got all the safety spec you'll ever want. It's got everything in that respect. Rear blind spot warning, etc., etc., etc. And also there you'll see you've got your lane keep assist, your lane keep warning system right in front of you, dead center. You can't miss it. Those are all the important ones that you really want to know about. But of course, the party piece for this car has got to be this. The screen. It dominates. I've got to use that word. I think it's something like a 15-inch, they term it. It's not a screen, it's not a tablet. Quite honestly, in my book, this is a PC. You're taking your personal computer along with you, or something to that effect. That's how big it is. But again, of course, it's got everything on it. I think I'd spend another month showing you everything on the screen, but it's very there. I just shrunk down you can now have it on 2 different functions. I didn't even have time to pick everything up, but you can see how it works. What is nice is you can also scroll across there for your various functions, and showing you there, for example, wireless Android Auto, which is really a neat feature, and I do like wireless Android Auto. Connects seamlessly, really a useful one. Something else, just while we're here, I find the shaping and the detail on these air vents throughout the car just very different, very unusual, and I think they're pretty neat, quite honestly. And it's on the vents, and you've got these vertical vents, 2 either side of the screen and 2 at the far end. So let me tell you, the front seat passengers are seriously comfortable. Underneath the screen, you've got physical controls for the aircon system. Nice one. And then over here, You've got, of course, your wireless charger if you want, and just a good space for your phone. It's actually a functional one for a change. The USBs are in there. I found them a bit awkward to actually plug into if you wanted to use it when I needed to charge my phone once in the car. But I don't have inductive charging on my phone. But once they're in, they're fine and easy. Come across over here, let's have a look. Of course, you've got the standard Ford gear shift. Apparently the platinum model in the Everest, the top 3-litre one, has a little rotary gear shift that's become so popular lately, but nothing wrong with this. It is Ford's 10-speed, don't forget that. And on my side, you can't see it here, you've got the plus minus for manual shifting if you want, for manual override if you want to use it. I don't know, but really, you've got electronic parking brake. Now you come to what's obviously crucial on a vehicle of this sort, the 4x4 hardware. Yes, you can switch off the traction control if you're crazy enough to. I don't know who would. But here you've got your terrain modes. So you've got sand, rock, whatever you want. And this, of course, is where you simply turn for we've used it in 2 high the whole test, but 2 high, 4 high, and of course your great 4 low. Now, I know from previous Everest, and I've heard from my colleagues who are on the launch how capable this is off-road. I'm not even going to go there right now. I'll hopefully do some off-roading in the wild track, and you'll see what it's like. You've got a nice wide armrest over here, and a 12 volt even inside it, so it's useful. And what Ford have done is given you sort of the grippy rubberized inside there just to keep things from rattling around if you put in there. Well, it's grown up from the previous one. I've said that a number of times. They've actually improved it. It's smoother, it's more comfortable, it's way more digital, everything in that respect. Because I have to admit, I got a bit of a surprise when I saw the pricing for the new generation, where it jumped by about 150 odd thousand rand from the previous generation sport model. And I was a bit surprised by that. But having experienced, as I say, the upgrades, the changes, the growth in size, in space, in everything else, I can see where it comes in. And, well, it certainly gives any competitor a massive run for its money. And being the newer, the more digital, the newer developed, etc., it's definitely very, very competitive in this category. Something else just to point out is the fact that Ford, under right to repair, do not include a service plan in the quoted price, but you can add on service or maintenance plans to whatever suits your needs. But that's how they do it. And that quoted price, let me just tell you, is 965,000 Rand for the sport model. Well, it's a lot of car, that's all I can say. And it's for you to go and test drive and compare it to the others in the market. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.